Good evening, everybody. I call this regular meeting to order for December the 3rd, 2024. I have to think about that. We're already in December. Resolved that the agenda for the December 3rd, 2024 regular meeting of council be adopted. Moved by Councillor Powell, seconded by Councillor Whyte. All in favor? It's carried. Resolved that the minutes of the November the 19th, 2024 regular council meeting be approved. Moved by Councillor Boychuk, seconded by Councillor Powell. Discussion? Any errors? Anything to be omitted? Corrections? All in favor? It's carried. 6.1. Resolved letter from Manitoba Justice Public Safety Division dated November the 19th, 2024 regarding the 2024-25 Urban Police Grant be received. Moved by Deputy Mayor Moriaux, seconded by Councillor Boychuk. This is on our policing grant. Any discussion? Go ahead.
Well, it's nice to see that the province is moving ahead with the 2% increase to the urban policing grant. I just want to go on record. It still says that the annual salary increases and that are still not are still over and above that 2% raise. So it's still a year-over-year funding deficit from what we were before. So with that, maybe with that. Could ask that His Worship send a letter thanking for that, but reminding the Minister that it's still a net deficit, and please consider that in the future.
Okay, we could do that. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 7.1. Resolved that the Director of Public Works report be received. Moved by Councillor Powell, seconded by Councillor Boychuk. Discussion. Welcome back, Director Harvey. Any discussion? Go ahead.
So we'll be doing this residential lead monitoring program, and it's a requirement from the province. So we'll be advertising that in the new year, and then based on the number of services we have, we're in the 500 to 5,001. We have to do 20 sites. So it'll be the first 20 sites that sign up that are in the medium risk. So there's low risk, medium risk, and high risk. We don't have any high risk that we're aware of, which is lead service pipes. The medium risk is houses built before 1990 that have children or home-based daycare, and then the low risk is houses built after 1990. So the first 20 that fall in the medium risk, those will be the ones that will get the samples for and send those off. And then once we talk to the drinking water officer, but when we get our test results back, let us talk to them on follow-ups. I checked a few places in town where they have, if it's required, filters for filters for removing lead, like British style filters. And I checked with plumbing company to see if we can get point of use ones. So then, if they do have elevated levels, then we can recommend them to that. So that's part of the implementation program. So
Right.
I have some information on that.
Okay.
So this is informing you, and then the next thing will be advertising to the public. And then 2/3 of the tests have to be between June and October, so that's when we'll be scheduling most of the tests.
I see. Councillor Whyte.
I was just going to say everything is pretty positive, and at the present, those lead levels aren't a concern.
Yeah, so our mains, we don't have any lead mains, and there's no lead in the water treatment plant. And we don't have lead services that we're aware of. anywhere in town, so that's all good. But there is the potential of like lead solder on copper pipes, like internal plumbing. And so the province has been talking about this for a couple years about starting to implement residential monitoring. So this is the start of it. And then, so we'll do the 20, see what the results are, and then talk to the drinking water officer if he wants us to do a different 20 the next year or retest those ones. But yeah, the water itself, like the source water and the treated water is fine, so it'd be more just if internal plumbing, if people have it.
I think the answer to that is, so any of us that turn a tap on, that lead flushes out. If there's lead in my water at home, if they did the copper pipes or did some lead, whatever in there, whenever I run the tap, that lead goes somewhere. So it's unlikely, unlike a tap that's yet not used for months on end. That would be a whole different scenario.
Yeah, there's two different test methods. So one is you just turn it on, so then the water has been sitting there for a little bit, so there's a potential for a bit higher. And then if that tests, then there's a 30-minute stagnation test where you run it to flush everything and let it sit, and then take a test. But yeah, we'll see what the test results show, and then go from there.
Councillor Boychuk.
So are you saying, like, if somebody uses a Brita filter, or maybe does reverse osmosis get rid of any lead if there were to be any? Are those methods used?
Not sure about reverse osmosis. I haven't got information back on that, but like Home Hardware sell the Brita style filter, and it says removes lead.
Oh, okay.
And so if someone did have high results, then we would get more information and pass that on to them, kind of thing.
Perfect.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor? It's carried. Thank you for doing that. Okay, Council and CAO's report. I will start tonight with Councillor Medwid.
Well, I did not make the AMN due to the lovely weather and road conditions. I missed a couple meetings that I did have scheduled in lieu. I did attend the 3-day harm reduction training, which I found very informative. Harm reduction is so much more than just drugs or substance use. So council erecting our 4-way and 3-way stop signs on 1st and 3rd Street South there was in fact engaging in harm reduction. So harm reduction can be as simple as that, anything that's implemented to reduce harm to individuals. There were a number of topics covered, such as 21 things you may not know about the Indian Act, ACEs, which are adverse childhood experiences and how they affect health across a lifetime, war on drugs, what is problematic drug use. Some of the things that I recall from that topic was, is it simply somebody who occasionally uses a substance to excess or regularly uses a substance to excess? Those who develop cancer require organ transplants or experience other major health conditions due to use of substances, which could include alcohol, nicotine, or prescription medications, anything that is legal and or illegal? Or do we just consider problematic drug use primarily for those who are houseless and using publicly due to a lack of housing? So those are a lot of the topics and conversations that came up, but what hit home the most for me as a municipal leader is when we focused on harm reduction being a focus on changing systems. So we really looked at the fundamentals of anti-oppression, intersectionality, colonialism as a root cause of harm in our communities, how power and privilege such as class, citizenship, land and culture, skin color, gender, sexual orientation, ability, neurodiversity, mental health, language, education, and housing play a significant role in one's ability to not only access social systems, but also control them. And how the very government systems that currently exist to help our citizens operate in a manner that actually perpetuates systemic oppression. So one of the examples given was anyone needing access to detox or treatment for substance use. First thing you need to do is get a doctor's appointment to get an assessment from the doctor. Well, not all doctors can do the assessment, and it takes on average in most communities 2 to 4 months to get that appointment with the doctor. Once you go to the doctor, you get your assessment. Your assessment is only active for 72 hours. So the individual has 72 hours to get their ducks in a row, arrange for child care, elder care, pet care, house care, any other care they might need looked after, plus transportation to Winnipeg and or Brandon or wherever the detox center is. Once they arrive, should everything align and they get there within 72 hours, they're not guaranteed a place. So if they do not get a bed in detox within the 72 hours, they have to go right back to the start, get another doctor's appointment, wait another 2 to 4 months to get that assessment, to then try again to get everything in order and be there and hope there's a bed. Should they get through detox, which is reduced from 30 days down to 28 days, because apparently if you're away from your home, if you live in subsidized housing for 30 days or more, they give your housing away. So you can go into treatment, detox, and come out homeless because you weren't there for 30 days. So if you succeed to get into detox and you get the advancement to treatment, there's no guarantee that there's going to be a treatment bed ready for you. But you'll be put on a waiting list. In the meantime, when you arrive into Winnipeg or Brandon for detox and or waiting for treatment, you have nowhere to live. If you happen to use between detox or treatment, you have to go right back to step 1 and wait for another doctor's appointment in order to get an assessment to be able to get into detox. So that was really kind of narrowing in, because it was kind of trying to be, the training was trying to be a little specific to the situations that are occurring in Swan River right now, to really open somebody's eyes as to just how difficult, and it's not a case of advocating for more beds, because the problem is the system. There's so many barriers in the system that makes it difficult for any individual to be able to get access to the services. So that was really eye-opening for me, because I did not realize it was so difficult. So it's not as easy as advocating for more beds. Although we do need more treatment beds and facilities, we also need to be advocating to decolonize the systems and change the oppressive nature of the systems that actually perpetuate oppression, and passing our resolutions to ban harm reduction or housing projects or things that are basically out of our jurisdiction. So I found it very informative. It was very unfortunate that other members of council weren't able to fit it into their schedules to attend, because it was very, very informative.
Okay, and that is members of council's prerogative if they choose. Councillor Boychuk.
You know, had the TCO meeting on the 19th, and unfortunately due to reasons out of my control, I wasn't able to attend the AMM either. So that is all for my report this week.
Okay, Councillor Whyte.
Very busy. We went to the AMM last week, which I found really informative. The networking process, meeting all the ministers, meeting the executive assistants, very positive. And then meeting with the ministers specifically, in brief form, we met with the Minister of Justice and Mr. Weeb, and GIS was his priority, as it is one of our priorities, and he was positive and very supportive. We met with the Minister of Natural Resources, Mr. Bushy, and we took a stand trying to supporting Louisiana Pacific and Spruce Products Lumber and their endeavors in our community, and expressed the interest we had in supporting those entities. And I talked to an LP upper level manager yesterday, and they said they'd heard from the minister already that we've been in there, and they appreciated the words that the Swan River team did report on. The Minister of Sport we met briefly with, and we talked about the arena and some help there. The Minister of Environment, we talked about the lagoon and some of the lagoon issues and some possibilities. And I brought a bunch of literature I've got at the display areas, and I put it in Council Medwid, I put it in your mailbox, talking about lagoons and treatment of sewage and things like that you might find interesting. The Minister of Housing probably supported many of the things you alluded to, and the meth issue is certainly one of the main reasons. And we went to a recruit retain Minister, Councillor Moriaux and I went to a recruit retain seminar, and we're way ahead of everything that's happening that was explained at that venue. We were doing things that had never been considered before, so I felt pretty good about that. Then went to the RCMP D Division, and we talked about the GIS, and they too were pretty excited about it coming to Swan River, and I felt equally important, the administration in D Division, the Dauphin Winnipeg people, through the nudging of the mayor, said we're going to have regular meetings with you guys in Swan River. They'll bring their administrative staff, the superintendent, for example, to talk about it so we can have a better idea of what's happening here locally. So all in all, very positive. I certainly appreciate being with my peers, those of you who can make it, and talking about philosophy and how to get there. Then on the 2nd, I went to the Immigrant Services meeting, and I have to believe strongly that that's one of our more important entities within our community in that they help people in need. And those people in need. And they also bring their culture and their skills to our community, which are wonderful for us. Then tonight, earlier, I went to the Manitoba Federation, the Albert Chartrand Friendship Center 56th annual AGM, 56 years. And they do fantastic things in our community, collaboratively with the town and other entities. I want to compliment Councillor Powell, who got a special award for her contributions to the Albert Chartrand Friendship Center. And now I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you for attending in my place and bringing greetings on the town's behalf. Just want to remind everybody to try to keep your comments to your privilege and not into your, or sorry, not your members' privilege, but into your actual reporting. Just keep them separated. Councillor Powell.
Okay, so just a few things. I did attend the AMM. Duane pretty much explained, Councillor Whyte pretty much explained everything that went on. It was really great to meet with ministers and put a face to everybody, to chat and really have dialogue with them. That was probably the most important thing. They appreciate a lot all the work that's being done in Swan River, and I think they really notice what's going on here, and they're really interested in what's happening in the valley. The library, we had a meeting last night. Lots of great things happening there. We have keep an eye on the website because they've got lots of things. They've had their numbers increase and stuff like that, and they've also come out in a much better financial position this year. So things are really moving forward there too as well.
Okay, thank you. Deputy Mayor Moriaux.
A few things. On the 19th was our committee of the whole meeting, and then prior to the meeting we had the executive director from Manitoba Harm Reduction Network give us a presentation from a Winnipeg's point of view. 20th, I had a Prairie Mountain Health Board meeting, and we had a day after the Fire Board meeting where nothing really drastic except operational business was there, but one of the issues or things we had on the agenda was a presentation by a third-party person to do an evaluation of the department of where we're at and where we should go based on our needs and risk assessment and stuff like that. So the department previously had one of those presentations done, and before the amalgamation of the departments to become the Valley Fire Department. So that is back on the table for discussion, and we will see what transpires with that to see how to evaluate where we're at or where we should be going forward with the department. As reported already, last week was our AMM conference in Winnipeg with the 5 ministerial departments in the RCMP, but it's also good to report that the 2 resolutions that were brought forward by the town did pass, which was good, despite the changing of the time limit of some of the questions on what we could put. We did have some time in front of the ministers in the ministerial forum, or the bear pit, where we could ask the ministers. So we did present some questions there, and the minister did allude to that the whole homelessness, addictions, harm reduction things needs to be under evaluation, and due to the voicing of the concerns brought by our communities and the PAW, that they were not aware of some of the challenges that are out there at that level. So it's good to know that that was brought forward. But it was also like a very busy and intense 3 days in the Winnipeg, where our schedule almost changed by the minute depending on his worship's availability with his media scrums and whatnot and media interviews with that. So I would like to thank the team for adapting to those changes where work tasks changed minute by minute as to what was planned and what actually had to happen. But we did it good, and it was noted by many ministers and a lot of other respected municipalities in the province that the town of Swan River has upped their game when we attend those conferences where we take notice, bring relevant issues to the table that affect not only our town but the whole province as a whole. So I want to thank them for that. So, and that's all I got.
Okay. Councillor Whyte.
Comment about Deputy Mayor's comments relative to the open forum. There's 500 or 600 people there, and the mayor of the city of Winnipeg, a pretty influential guy in the world of Manitoba, stood up and said, "Hey, whatever you guys are doing in Swan River, keep it up." The mayor of Poole did the same, and so many other people spoke to the program or the process we were working on. Has it got some dark sides? Absolutely. But we hope that the dark side is going to be more than covered soon by the things that our community has supported us on, what this council has tried to do.
Yeah, you're right. We did hear a lot from, if it was City Winnipeg Mayor, who I had a great time to have a good chat with about some of the issues that we share, and as well as other city mayors and reeves. For me, I guess, you know, I attended some of these other things that are similar to each of you, but for me, the AMM kickoff was the press conference that I was able to share with the mayor from the PAW on our resolution of sharps in our communities. And I want to say that there's a lot of people that we were questioned by, and people that were coming up to us afterwards going, they didn't realize that what was out in communities and how it was, you know, somewhat harming our communities, and us bringing this to the forefront has been really important. And I want to thank Deputy Mayor Moriaux for to advocating and also speaking on behalf of the resolution during that session. I want to say also that, yeah, we were busy. I can't believe how quick those days went, because we were just always going, and I couldn't always be with all council because I had other responsibilities, or press was chasing after me too. But our members of council acted very professional, and they represented our community in a very good way. It's noticeable when you speak with the ministers. When I had a chance to sit down and have lunch with a few of them, they mentioned that, and they want to talk to us. They want to hear ideas of what we're doing and what we can advocate or help to, you know, with the province on changing some things. I don't mean only needles and addictions and all that, but other things. And we do have a new minister for municipal affairs, and we had a really good chat with him on one of the evenings. I think it was Tuesday night, and he wants to come up to Swan River in early January, and we will have a good conversation with him. I want to talk to him a little bit about the lagoon situation that we have, and support for that. So that was something that as a team we have worked very well together, and I know that the packages that are put together by the CAO, Mr. Poole, have been always a really big piece for us in keeping us organized, keeping us on topic, and presenting ourselves. And many of the, if it was D division, or if it was a minister, and especially some of the new ministers, they grab that and look at it and go, wow, I can't believe that you guys actually do this. And there's a lot more municipalities that are following on that too. So I want to thank the CAO also for helping us to keep us on track and organized. You know, we had some good keynote speakers, and we'll get into that, you know, but there was some themes there about trust and communications among our teams. which I found that was very powerful and insightful. Our icebreaker, it was done a little bit differently this year. It was all day, but it also, sorry, not all day, it wasn't all day. the trade show was all day. The icebreaker was in the evening for a couple hours, but they mixed the two of them together. And I need to know from each of you that did attend, what's the pros and cons to it. I need to have some feedback because the AMM is looking for some feedback on that. Premier, can you announce a new funding stream for us over the next 5 years? It's a little bit more money for us, and I shared that with the CFO a few days ago, but we will welcome it. But the AMM will continue to lobby the province of Manitoba for a predictable funding model for all of our municipalities. Bear Pit was a little bit more active, I guess you can say, now that the government is out of their honeymoon stage, I think, so it was pretty good. The gala, outgoing President Cam Blight, and his words to the membership was pretty powerful, and it's sad to see him go, but it's for him and his family, and we wish him all the best, and thank him for his years of service to his community, and also for serving such a big job in the way that he did for the AMM and for all our municipalities. And then of course we seen our good friend Eileen Clark was given the honorary membership for the AMM, and she of course was a councillor, she's a minister, and she's also served on the board of the AMM as well. So anyway, I have more to say. I'm going to save the last for my member's privilege, and we shall move on to CAO
Just
Poole.
one comment you missed out, sir, is...
Well, I'm not done reading my stuff yet, but okay, go ahead.
You set up a meeting with Deputy Mayor Moriaux and myself with the Minister of Immigration,
Yeah.
who's negotiating with getting doctors from other countries that are accredited and have all the credentials to our community, and she was very interesting to talk to, and I think you led me to believe that she might be up here early in the new year.
Yes, and if you would have seen in your email today, there was a response from her, I think her assistant. I don't think it's the chief of staff, but the assistant, I think. And that person is wanting to discuss with you about a time when we can set up that meeting in January.
Perfect.
So there should be some communications, and we can talk about that later.
Sure.
But we should set up something in the new year, because the minister will come up and visit us, because I think the Paul wants to come down and also meet with the minister.
Well, you initiated it, so thank you.
Okay, no problem. CAO Poole.
Yeah, just some office human relations issues we're working on. Continuing on the CAO search, we'll meet after this meeting, the General Government Services for update. And then just going through like a transition report, so council can just see a couple of items that maybe take some time in order to get those transitions going. And on the AMM, I don't want to say anything that's already been said. I agree with it all, but I think council needs to be commended because it really is it's validation of the hard work you guys have put in. You're not buying greater blades. You're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, and I think you're lobbying. It's not easy, and you guys have stood up where no one else did. And now that you have, I think what I found at AMM is there's municipalities that we're watching really closely, and they're in support of what we're doing. So congratulations on that. And then I always say the best part of AMM is the networking, the people that you meet. You find out we all have the same issues. We have a lot of allies out there, and just to congratulate one, Kathy Valentino from Thompson for being president-elect to the AMM Association. So congratulations to Kathy. I'm sure she'll represent as well.
Okay. Thank you. So moving on, we're going to 8.1. Resolved that the Chief Administrative Officer, Derek Poole, be authorized to sign, and Mayor Lance Jacobson be authorized to certify the Borders Broker Direct Importer to Custom Broker Power of Attorney. Moved by Councillor Boychuk, seconded by Councillor Whyte. Discussion? Councillor Medwid.
It's a case that there's a $2,500 fee Is that accounted for in the budget, and if not, do we have the money in the budget?
Go ahead.
It's not accounted for in the budget. I can't redirect it anywhere, and it will go over. So being where we are in the year, I don't think any of this will happen till the new year now. But the document to be signed to set the account set up is what this one is about.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 8.2. Whereas sections 365(2) of the Municipal Act provides that council may in any year designate the immediately preceding year or any earlier year as the year for which properties, the taxes in respect of which are in arrears for the year must be offered for sale by auction to recover the tax arrears and costs. Be it resolved that the designated year for which properties in arrears be offered for sales by auction be 2024, meaning all properties with outstanding taxes from the year 2023 or prior. And be it further resolved that in accordance with sections 363(1) of the Municipal Act, costs shall be actual costs incurred for each parcel listed for the 2025 tax sale, plus an administration fee of $50 as set forth in the Manitoba Regulation 5097, and be it further resolved that the 2025 tax sale be held Wednesday, September the 10th, 2025 at 2 p.m. in the Town of Swan River Committee Room, and the tax service be hired to manage the tax sale for the town during the fiscal year 2025. Moved by Councillor Boychuk, seconded by Councillor Whyte. Discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 8.3. Whereas the Town of Swan River approved the service agreement with the City of Brandon for 911 services on September the 21st, 2018. And whereas the fee for services as listed on the attached Schedule A that is updated each fall season for services the following year. Now therefore be it resolved that the updated Schedule A consisting of the increases in fees for the 2025 service year replacing the previous year's Schedule A be received. Moved by Councillor Boychuk, seconded by Deputy Mayor Moriaux. Discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 8.4. Resolved that the snow removal agreement with Manitoba Transportation Infrastructure be signed. Moved by Councillor Whyte, seconded by Councillor Powell. Discussion? Councillor Medwid.
I kind of just breezed through this, but it looked to me like it was a similar agreement to previous years. However, the amount has increased, which I guess is nice to see, but $28,594, I'm pretty sure we spent more than that on Main Street and 4th Ave the past couple winters, including last winter, which had very little snow. So I would be in opposition to signing, because once we sign this agreement, we are essentially saying that we agree to everything in it. So if we want to argue that and we want to go for them paying the actual invoices for the work being done, then I don't feel we should be signing this.
Go ahead.
Just council must understand the risk of not signing it, so that means we're at zero. So we have asked that we want to negotiate or to increase it and ultimately then pay the increase or the invoice, and the answer is like an outright no. But so as long as you understand, by not signing it, we get nothing. By signing it, we get $28,594.
Yeah, and I have spoke with another government person, I can't remember the person's name, within Minister Naylor's department, because I actually spoke with them. She was not at the convention, but she is planning on coming up to Swan River. I think we already have a meeting set with her, and this will be one of the things that we'll be discussing with Minister Naylor as well. Go ahead, Councillor Boychuk.
I guess it would be nice to see something where we can sign the agreement, and this is quite beneficial. This is basically double the funding that we've ever gotten. So I'm quite for that. They definitely are recognizing that they have been leaving us in a shortfall, but it would be nice to maybe see something where 1 year to the other there is an accommodation payment or fee to kind of top up and level off so that the costs are basically paying for itself, or if we have to bear some of it. I don't see a problem with that, but yeah, to bring it closer to a even parity would be nice, but that's double what we've ever gotten, so I think we're moving in the right direction.
Deputy Mayor Moriaux.
This was one of the, I guess, sidebar topics that with many of the municipalities that have PR roads that go through urban municipalities challenged with every year. So I think going forward, like, we need to sign this, as it is what it is. Even if we negotiate it, I think that's not gonna happen before the end of the winter season anyway. I think we take the time where we gather data and intel from other municipalities across the province who have PR roads that go through that do have similar agreements, and we create a unified voice going towards the province instead of the one-on ad hoc negotiations. We just saw how successful we are when we join forces with others, so we need to keep up that and go forward so that we have a unified voice going, so that they can't come back and just pick us off or tear us apart one municipality at a time. So I would be in favor. Yes, I agree. It doesn't come near to what the cost it is, but we have to factor in as a municipality that Main Street and 4th is a major business area, and we do have some responsibility to maintain safety to add some services to our business despite not being fully funded due to a PR road. So.
Okay, further discussion? Councillor Medwid.
My thoughts are still, we have not had any luck with signing the contract and trying to pursue negotiations after the fact. So why don't we try a different tactic and not sign it, and in response to not signing it, send it with the information Deputy Mayor Moriaux just mentioned, and the proof and stats that have been gathered over the last few years of just how much we actually are spending on snow removal, and ask if they can renegotiate and come back with another number for us.
Go ahead.
Have we not done this previously? We not question why we've gone down this road? have
Oh,
we?
yeah.
Yeah.
After we've signed
You're
it.
out of order. So, Corinna.
No, I recall we've gone,
We've negotiated with them when we've had agreements with them and when we haven't had agreements with them. Both.
Okay. Further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. I still think that we need to have some of that data that we have ready for Minister Naylor when she is here. Okay, 8.5. Resolve the town of Swan River purchase a 2018 Chev Silverado from Swan River Key Chevrolet. Are you ahead?
Table.
Pardon?
Can we table this?
Let's read the resolution and then we'll have to move, because it's not on the table yet. Resolve the town of Swan River purchase a 2018 Chev Silverado from Swan River Key Chevrolet Buick GMC Incorporated for $23,490 plus applicable taxes. Moved by Councillor Boychuk, seconded by Councillor Whyte. Discussion?
I'm asking to table this motion until Chair of Transportation and Health Services is here to speak to the matter.
Okay. So we have a motion to table, seconded
I
by,
have a question.
I think
Is the
that's-
person who moves the,
We just,
We got a motion on the
yeah,
table.
we have that motion to vote on.
yeah,
so
but I
we-
have a question of procedure. I
What's
don't know
that?
what the proper term for that is. Is the person who motions the resolution allowed to table the resolution? Because it was my understanding that the person who motions has to speak in favor of the motion. And tabling isn't exactly in favor.
Yeah, so, yeah, in that case, just say procedure or something like that, so that I know what you're getting at.
I'll have to look it up. It's not in my cheat sheet.
If she wants to withdraw it, I will make the motion, and then we're
I'll
gonna have to.
withdraw.
go from there.
Okay, so Councillor has withdrawn anyway, so.
I'll make the
Councillor
motion.
White. Okay, so the Councillor White has the motion to table till when? The next meeting?
Next meeting.
Okay. Seconded by Councillor Powell. All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. All right. 8.6. Whereas it is general practice, the town of Swan River hire the services of an experienced labor lawyer for the duration of the collective bargaining agreement between the town and QP Local 851. And whereas the town of Swan River has excellent working relationships with Duboff, Edwards, and Schachter, who have positively represented the town multiple times in past negotiations. Therefore, be it resolved, the town of Swan River procure the services of Duboff, Edwards, Schachter for the purposes of collective bargaining as per Schedule A attached. Moved by Deputy Mayor Moriaux, seconded by Councillor Powell. Discussion? Go ahead.
I recommend that council approves this resolution as part of the negotiating committee for the last 3 collective agreements with it. I've had the pleasure of dealing with Mr. Edwards in the last 2, and then another individual in the initial one that I was part of. And Mr. Edwards' performance and ability to negotiate a fair collective agreement to both sides with an understanding was far superior than what we had with the one that I was initially with, and then previously, from what I understand, when council did it on its own. So through the last negotiations, a lot of this contentious issues, well, a lot of it was cleared up in the last 2 negotiations. And going forward, this should be a simple one with some, I guess, some operational stuff and some whatever each side brings. But Mr. Edwards' knowledge and history in our collective agreement is invaluable. And I think the last time he reduced it down from, I think, almost a half a dozen to a dozen meetings to, I think, 2 or 3 meetings, and we were done. And there's, from what I get, there was a lot of respect from the union representatives on that we weren't wasting time. He filtered out a lot of the stuff that were pie in the sky type thoughts on our part instead of wasting time with the union. So it saved everybody time. So even though it looks expensive on the hour, he is very worth it and wraps things up fairly quick.
Okay, further discussion? Councillor White.
Thank you, because I don't sit on that committee, but can it be requested that we get lawyer Edwards? Because there's 3 names there.
Yeah, he'll be the principal.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 10.1. Resolve the accounts as follows be hereby approved for payment. General accounts checks number 32281 to number 32315 totaling $178,380.72 as listed on Schedule A. Payroll accounts checks number 5514 to 5517 totaling $114,050.41 as listed on Schedule B. Direct deposits payments totaling $825 as listed on Schedule C, and direct deposits payments totaling $15,569.95 as listed on Schedule D. Moved by Councillor Whyte, seconded by Deputy Mayor Moriaux. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 10.2, whereas the town of Swan River has issued penalties to owners of properties for violating bylaw 6/2023 that the Municipal Act subclause 236(1)(b)(3) provides may be provides may be collected in any manner in which tax may be collected or enforced under the law act. And whereas the sufficient time has been allowed for payment of such outstanding amounts as listed on the attached Schedule A totaling $600. Therefore, be it resolved that each of the unpaid amounts listed on Schedule A be added to the corresponding tax roll and collected in that manner. Be it further resolved that notice be sent to each property owner detailing the amounts being added to the taxes and advising that interest will accrue on the said amounts in the same manner as for unpaid property taxes effective January the 1st, 2025. Moved by Councillor Boychuk, seconded by Councillor Powell. Discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 10.3. Whereas sections 326 of the Municipal Act provides that a municipality may impose supplementary taxes, and subsections 306 provides that a municipality may cancel or reduce taxes upon receipt of assessment alterations from the Manitoba Assessment Services. Therefore, be it resolved that the assessment alterations provided by the Manitoba Assessment Services on November the 21st be made to the 2024 property tax roll with the resulting increase of $34.93. Moved by Councillor Boychuk, seconded by Deputy Mayor Moriaux. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 10.4. Resolve the financial statements for the 10 months ending October 31st, 2024 be adopted as received. Moved by Councillor Boychuk, seconded by Councillor Powell. Discussion. Deputy Mayor Moriaux.
CFO Gnida, on the attachment, the capital budget analysis, I see that there's a number of, I guess, projects in the actual line that are completed, but it still shows as values in progress. Is that because we're still waiting for invoices on them before we can actually say it's completed?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. And then one more question, CFO Gnida, since we have one more council meeting before the end of the year, would it be prudent to have any resolutions come forward to identify where any tax or any surpluses that we may or may not have, if there is any, to which account we want to appoint it before the end of the year?
Yes, those will be on the next council meeting agenda.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. Members' privilege. Councillor Powell.
Okay, so, yes, as you mentioned before, Eileen Clark, it was great to see her there, and she was very, very honored to have that award and be recognized. Kathy Valentino, yeah, as well. Yes, huge congratulations to her, and wishing her all the best. I think she'll make a great president and a great person that we can, tap and be able to discuss issues with. I guess the other thing was the Axeman game. We had what a huge turnout that was. Huge. Commend the arena staff. It was a huge, huge event, and it really showed what the community what the community basically puts into, and how much they support the people in the community and hockey as well. There's just one more other thing from the AMM that I just really, really want to commend. Is that we have our CEO has lots of respect from people there, and he did an amazing job of representing Swan River. It definitely is going to be missed. There's lots of times when we were walking along and people would stop, and I said, "No, we still have him. Okay, he's still here with us for now." So anyway, just a huge thank you, Derek, for all that you've done for Swan River. We are going to feel the loss.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councillor Whyte.
Just some comments that were given to me by my bosses during the last week or so. Some I've shared with Mr. Poole. One of the things that it appears that we don't have a camera at our water treatment plant. And the issue was perhaps if these eco-terrorists ever got goofy, which they have in other jurisdictions, it might be appropriate to have a camera sitting out there. We've got cameras sitting around, and that to me would be a place of high priority. The proposal we had recently about the possibility of development north of town, and it was kind of creative proposal. I'm not sure, where did that go? And I haven't seen it since
Which,
the
sorry?
rumors people.
Oh, you mean like the incentive plan?
Yeah, we were talking about incentives that's specific to his request. I'm not aware that we've given him an answer.
Well, we provided him with our current incentive plan and basically told him to propose something in writing. He had a lot of verbal, he gave us our presentation and he gave it to us verbally, but he was asked to provide a proposal in writing. And Deputy Mayor Moriaux as well was given the information and was going to give it to staff.
Yeah, so that, if you may, that incentive bylaw is being worked on as we speak, and slowly we come forward. He is having some input on it on the side, but as relative to your question regarding this sort of stuff, I think that project's on hold due to winter coming up and increased construction costs at this point, so that it may resume in the spring.
As long as you guys are communicating with him,
We
I
are.
have no problem. But, one of his family, him, was a little concerned that it didn't go when he wanted it, but welcome to the real world. Walker Way and Mackenzie Street, we've approved those things, and we've had a thing for ex-mayor Mackenzie. If we put the signs up, we've got the little signs you can stick on top, you don't need anything special, and if not, why not?
The streets aren't built yet.
Pardon me?
The streets aren't constructed yet.
And why would that be?
They just got registration through Dauphin Land Titles. They were
So it's
just registered.
Still moving forward.
Yeah, well,
Okay, end of discussion. Now, when a taxpayer asked me, when she showed me her tax bill, when she gets her tax bill, it's got Rec and Wellness Center, $165. Close. And she's 100% in favor of it. She said, well, why not put down arena, pool, hall? Because it looks, from a person who's against the Rec and Wellness Center, which I'm not, it sort of picks it out of the puzzle of being the expensive, but there are other things, and we're not listing them at all, so why are we just listing the pool?
It's something that council can discuss if they want to break those out, you know,
Well,
so.
there's a different
But there's
answer.
a process that goes along with that though. Go ahead.
What that individual is likely seeing is the separate amount where she probably didn't pay that one-time payment, and that payment was broken up over so many years, and that's where whoever didn't pay that initial amount would see that amount on the subsequent
capital.
years.
Okay, it's not, okay,
It's-
that's
it's not in
something
the
she
special
hasn't
ser-
paid personally, but others may not even have that line.
Right, because the other
I'll
ones
check
you
on
would
that.
see in the special service bylaw, but that one is highlighted, that's amount owing that was not paid in a full, complete, and divvied up over so many years.
That's a good explanation.
CFO Gnida.
The only lines that are separated out from the general municipal mill rate are special service levies and local improvement levies. So we have special services levies such as police protection and other special services, and we have a local improvement levy for the wellness center construction. And every property pays the mill rate portion of the wellness center construction levy. Those that prepaid the per parcel portion do not have the flat amount levy of $59.73. Those that did not prepaid have that, and both show on the same line, like the per parcel levy is on the same line as the mill rate levy, but those that prepaid will have nothing in the column for the per parcel levy. So it's only special service levies and local improvement levies that are separated out. And also the watershed district, a couple of years ago, the province made it a change there where we have to levy a special mill rate to cover the cost of the watershed. So I would think that if the arena borrowing is done as a local improvement levy, then it will appear as its own line, just like the
Okay,
one in the
that's making
center.
sense now, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anything further?
That's it, thank you.
Okay, Councillor Medwid.
Two things that I want to bring up. We've made a lot of progress with transparency, but I did notice a Facebook post last week, Town on Notice, harm reduction. And it mentioned that Minister Smith met with council. I specifically asked to attend that meeting, but I was told it was only for the mayor. So I'm not sure if that was a miscommunication in the print of the post and what was, I'm assuming, going in the paper, being it's a Town on Notice, or whether we were misinformed as to who could attend, but I don't think it's being transparent if we're telling the community that
The
the
deputy.
council met.
The deputy and I met with the minister and also with Mr. Poole.
In the
Yeah.
future, we'll say the town of Swan River as opposed to council.
Yeah, because, it wasn't all of council, we weren't all privy to the meeting. And then just to mention that the Bozeman Lions Club will be holding our fundraising brunch on Friday, December 6th. That's this Friday from 10 to 2. And the funds proceeds, it's by donation actually, so it's free, but if you want to give a donation, the donations will be going towards play equipment for the Bozeman School and community. And we will also be doing a tribute to Lion Mel, who passed.
To whom?
Lion Mel.
Lion Bell.
Councillor Boychuk.
Just to reiterate Councillor Powell's congratulations to President Kathy Valentino. We couldn't ask for a better representation for the province of Manitoba at the AMM. And again to CAO Poole, thank you for all your professional leadership and guidance at the AMM and for all the organizational structure you've implemented over the years that will, I'm sure, last till the ends of time, even though you're not here. There's going to be a lot of things that you've implemented and started that we're going to be carrying on until you come to your senses and come back. No, just kidding. And I just wanted to make a note that there's a lot of really good fundraisers going on right now. I bought some Swan River daycare tickets, and minor hockey has one, and I think the staff heaters have theirs going on. So I don't have any on me, otherwise I'd be asking for some cash, but I'm sure I'll get a couple books and find you.
Sure you will.
That's all.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to mention that there are 3 Tigers games this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can get your fill on with them. And then we have the cutest little U7 tournament going on at the arena all day Saturday, starting at 10 o'clock. So if you just want to feel warm and fuzzy and smile all day long, I suggest you come in and take in some of that action. And U11s are on Sunday too, so a little bit older, but still some good little hockey going on.
Okay.
Yeah, that's everything. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Deputy Mayor Moriaux.
I just also want to say congratulations to Eileen Clark for her lifetime membership to the AMM. It was an honor to work with her level-headedness and calmness. We shared a lot of messages back and forth in the wee hours in the morning and at late at night where I was bouncing ideas off her for her advice and have a calm perspective from her. Also, congratulations to Cam. He did a good job for leading AMM, brought it forward, and with Kathy Valentino being from Thompson, and she will be a strong candidate moving us forward, especially with a voice for the communities from the north, where I don't want to pit the north versus the south, or put the iron ring, but there is that divide there where certain elements in our political process think nothing exists outside the perimeter, so I'm sure she will be bringing that voice loud here for us northern communities. And I just want to let people know that as our resolution at the AMM conference for the retractable needles passed, I will be now looking and researching a new bylaw, and as part of our under municipal act sphere of jurisdiction of public safety, I'll be researching and see the legalities and the ability to bring forward a bylaw for the town to consider regarding the substance use in public places similar to alcohol and cannabis, since we have individuals consuming that product in all our public spaces and whatnot. But I find it ironic or interesting that the province's ability to step in and regulate where you can consume alcohol and cannabis, but they don't want to venture into that field with substances or illegal substances. So I will be drafting it up and bringing it forward for council review to see how that goes, and maybe that will also gain traction and joined by other communities, or something that the province may want to take on and champion as one of their own. So, and that's all.
Okay. All right, for me, just finishing up with the AMM, a couple of years ago, I was lucky enough to attend the Alberta Municipalities Convention, and I met with at that time, he wasn't the president, but Mayor Tyler Denham, and this year he is the president of the Alberta's municipalities, so he attended the AMM and as a fraternal partner, and it was nice to have him, I guess, delegated to me to kind of usher him around, and what another great person to have on your side in your community, and being from Alberta and seeing the issues that we see here in our town, and I was glad to get to know Tyler, or President Denham, in the capacity that he serves in that role. So I look forward to seeing him soon again in Alberta. I also have the opportunity to introduce Duane Clunas again. He came to the convention to speak to us, and he is, of course, the former City of Winnipeg police chief, and he's now retired, but he speaks about a lot of issues in communities. He talked about our social dysfunction in our communities, which is pretty much plaguing our communities. And he spoke a lot on some things that some people may not completely agree with, but I think that there's a lot of people that would agree with, and he cautioned people on that. And I think he was very much accurate in his conversation. And which is too bad that not everybody gets to see some of these speakers that we get to see, because you really kind of take to heart what they have to say, and hopefully people that were in the audience there, roughly 700 delegates I think it was, that they'll take some of that away. But I think government, provincial and federally, should also be sitting in that room at the same time and hearing what Mr. Clunas had to say. Lastly, of course, on the AMM, our election of our vice presidents, Brad Sloop has been re-elected, and also our newly elected vice president, Scott Phillips. So look forward to working with them on the board, and of course under the direction of our new leadership of President Valentino. And I think a lot has been already said about President Valentino, and we all know that she'll serve us very well. She'll be a great president. And lastly, I want to just mention that with this abundance of snow that we've received in our first kind of shot of winter, everybody, the young ones, are looking forward to getting that ski hill opened up, and I think that they're talking about opening up this weekend. So hopefully that happens. And yeah, I know I got one in my household that can't stop talking about it. So anyway, it'd be a great thing for our valley to see that ski hill opened up. And as we know, we got some verbiage on that here in the last week on one of our gems that are hidden in this whole country, and that is our Thunderhill Ski Club. So that's it for me.
I forgot, just one, a couple things. Just for the library, Mrs. Claus will be there this weekend on Saturday, so I just want to make sure, and next week in Benito, she'll be there. Festival of Trees is happening there right now too. We were there for a meeting last night, and it's beautiful. If you get a chance, stop in and look at the trees. There's so many beautiful trees in there right now. So that goes on from December 3rd to the 14th. And just one other thing, ECFC, or Alberta Short-Term Friendship Center, has their craft sale this weekend on Saturday. That's it.
Okay. CAO Poole.
I don't have much, just to answer an inquiry from council earlier about tabling. A mover can table a motion, it just cannot be done at the end of a speech. So the only discussion allowed after a motion is tabled is on the length of the tabling. A motion to table cannot interrupt a speaker, it requires a seconder and a majority vote. A mover can table.
Anything further?
No.
Okay. Director Harvey.
Just want to thank the Public Works employees. They were going through the night last week to get that
Yeah.
snow cleared away. There was a lot of it, and they went hard at her until they got her cleaned up.
Yeah, make sure you pass off compliments from the members of council also, because every time we get the first shot of winter and everybody's going through that shock and thinking that the snow should disappear the very next day, which it doesn't, and we have to start living with it a little bit. But they did, I think, a really good job. It seemed to go quite quick, in my opinion, but make sure you thank them on our behalf. Director Clouson.
We have a couple things tonight. Just to let people know, Monday nights we've got some new programming at 16 plus rec hockey. So we've been having some kids coming out. They're having a really good time. So we're some kids looking for something to do Monday nights. And then we're going to be doing walk the halls again. So to go inside walking, people are welcome to come down to the arena basically whenever they want and walk around. We kind of just do the corridor through the lobby underneath. If you're looking for a challenge, go up the stands, come back down. Not my thing, but we can put some music on for you. You can take into some stampeder practices. There's always something on the ice. And we're going to be going to SVRSS 2. I know it's 8 to 10 p.m., but I did not write down which days of the week it is. So watch our Facebook for that. I know it's when volleyball is going on. So there'll be some action going at the high school. Outdoor ices are in the works with all this nice snow we were able to pack. We're hoping to have our ice open before Christmas. And then just one more thing, we're teaming up with Evelyn Immerker on December 16th, and she's going to be decorating some cupcakes with some kids. So there's some registration involved in that. I don't know the cost, it was just in the works today, so just keep a look on our Facebook page and bring some kids out. And I think one of the cupcakes is the Grinch, and it's like really super cute, so.
Cool.
That's it for me.
Thank you. CFO Gnida.
So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I'll have several resolutions on the next council meeting agenda for transferring surpluses. I'll be taking a look at the budget to see what monies were budgeted but not spent. I'm thinking like the GIS unit, we budgeted for the GIS unit, but that was not spent because it's not in place yet. So I'm proposing a resolution to put the money into the crime prevention reserve for future, to be used in a future year. And then I'll be looking at some of the capital projects. There might be a project or two in recreation that didn't get done. So I'll have a resolution to transfer the monies that were budgeted for that into the recreation reserve. And then also there will be a resolution to adopt an interim operating budget, because municipalities must have at least an interim budget in place before January 1 in order to spend any money. So look forward to that on the next meeting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, we have nothing in camera. So we'll just move to adjourn. Resolve this regular meeting of council now be adjourned at 8:09 p.m. Moved by Councillor Medwid, seconded by Councillor Boychuk. All in favor? It's carried. We're adjourned.